Hello, this is Mr. Chabry. We are here with what's the closest thing that we can get to as a narrated Pokemon battle. This is a battle that we actually had during a live stream, and of course you're going to see me try to do things to make sure my opponent isn't waiting for me to go ahead and do a move before my opponent picks a move. So you're going to see me, go around, look at different Pokemon in my party and stuff. And that's actually there just to help us out. Because here you basically see everything on the screen. That's the unfortunate thing about Gen 8. You're not able to hide your stuff. This is going to be double battles where Ubers are allowed, as you see there. I only brought 2 Ubers, as my opponent's team is mostly Ubers. But I'm pretty sure that we should be able to win this if we play it right. Right off the bat, I want to Flare Blitz the Zacian, get that thing out of the way if I can. We did get the Intimidate on it, which is really nice. And we're going to go ahead and get Togekiss in here as quick as possible. I don't want to take a Dragon-type move on my Reshiram because Reshiram's a very powerful Pokemon. And if I can keep it alive, I can probably do some work with it later. So I don't want to risk it being out here with these pretty scary Pokemon. We're going to take a nasty Play Rough onto our Incineroar, but luckily with the Intimidate, we will live. And my opponent's going to get some Toxic Spikes up. The unfortunate thing about that is there's not much I can do about Toxic Spikes, so hopefully we can play around that and still do well. But yeah, another Flare Blitz will do the job. So I just go ahead and, do that as with my Togekiss slot. Actually, I lied. Like I said, this is me trying to pretend to do something to make sure my opponent isn't just waiting for my move to do what they want to do. So I'm going to try to actually switch Incineroar out and go for a Dazzling Gleam. The reason I go Dazzling Gleam is it does okay damage on Eternatus, and it will finish off the Zacian. Of course, I go ahead and get Reshiram back in. I think if we can, prevent, taking unnecessary damage on Reshiram will be good. Unfortunately, Togekiss is going to get a nasty smack in the face with a Behemoth Blade. And we're going to get hit with a nasty Dynamax Cannon, so this turn did not turn out the best that I, really hoped it would have. But yeah, it was a pretty bad turn right there. And with that, we're going to have to go into our boy Reuniclus. So Reuniclus has Trick Room. As you saw there, Surfetch is on my team and it has the Room Service. So if I can get the Trick Room going, even though my opponent has very fast Pokemon, we would be in a better position, based off of, we would be able to go first. So I'm going to go ahead and go on the offensive with Reshiram, as my opponent tries to get rid of Reshiram there, but misses. My opponent's going to hit a Venoshock on my Reuniclus. We actually survive. So that miss with the Zacian actually helps us out a lot. That gives us Eternatus pretty much for free. And we get a free Trick Room as well. Well, not technically for free, because as you see here, Reshiram goes down to the poison damage. But I will take that Eternatus. Reshiram was going to go down that turn anyway, so that miss just gave us a nice knockout. And it gives us a free switch into Surfetched, who will take advantage of the new Trick Room. And we're going to see Stargazer come out. That's going to be the Lunala, which I really don't have anything for Lunala 100%. Of course, Incineroar is my best bet against that thing, but maybe what we need to do is try to watch out for Lunala, because that Psychic is going to actually hurt Surfetch quite a bit. And the Ghost type of it will hurt Reuniclus quite a bit. So here I'm just, waiting a little bit before I decide what to do, as now I'm going to actually go for a knockoff onto Lunala. Actually, no, not Lunala. Zacian. And with that, we would be able to get rid of Zacian, as we're going to actually see the Dynamax on my opponent's side. And it's going to be that Lunala, of course, who's got the Shadow Shield ability, which means it's going to be quite difficult to even take this thing out. I go for Protect on Reuniclus. It'd be nice to keep that thing around. We're going to get rid of the biggest blade, and it goes down finally after all that time. Max Phantasm onto Reuniclus. We actually live because of the nice Protect. So protecting right there ended up helping us out a ton. And we're going to go ahead and eat our berry. I think that's a Wiki berry we got. Yeah. So unfortunately, both of our mons are poisoned, but like I said earlier, there's not much I can do about that. We just have to, try to play through it. We're going to see Sylveon come out, and this is actually the only Pokemon on my opponent's side that is not an Uber. Yeah, so that's the only one really. And here, I've got to go on the offensive, pretty much onto Stargazer. And you're going to actually see me switch. I want to switch out into... no, I'm not going to switch. I'm trying to, narrate this on the fly, because I don't remember exactly what I did. I actually detect here. That way, if I do get hit with a Psychic move from that Stargazer, I'm going to actually be okay. Hyper Voice as well. That protects me from that. And I should live a Psychic... or even a Ghost-type Phantasm max move. So yeah, that detect really helpful. Unfortunately, Reuniclus goes down, but I think we should still be fine. But the one thing that I did there was break that ability that the Lunala has. That's really what I wanted to do because of how insane that ability is, plus its bulk. So yeah, with that, we're going to actually do more damage here. We're going to probably knock off Stargazer, try to get as much damage. But I want to point out, this Incineroar has a special move on it. And this move is actually only here for Sylveons. This is the only reason I've got this move, is for Sylveons, the Throat Punch. Because they usually use Hyper Voice, and with the Throat Chop, I'm going to prevent that from happening, even though it's not very effective. Here you see that Lunala boost with a weakness policy, and that's going to be able to one-shot my Incineroar. I mean, not really a one-shot, it was already low on health, but I'm glad that our Incineroar got to go first, because that's going to prevent that Sylveon from going Hyper Voice and, wiping out both of my Mons there. So now I've got Marshadow out on the field, and the problem is Trick Room still going on. And, we got to get rid of the Lunala. As you see here, I only got 2 Pokemon left. My opponent has 4 Pokemon left. I can, though, Dynamax. This is the only thing is Choice Banded. But if I Dynamax, I can get a few moves out before the Choice Band activates, and I'm locked into something. So that's basically my plan here. Try to get rid of that Lunala, because that thing is the thing that could probably be a bigger threat to Marshadow. I'm not totally sure what the Sylveon has. As you see here, it's going to go for a Struggle. And that's doing nothing. I don't think Struggle is boosted by Pixelate or affected by Pixelate. As you see there, it wasn't super effective. So Struggle is not doing anything. And that just gives us a nice knockout onto the Lunala, or the Sylveon. So right away, having Throat Punch actually ended up paying off. Because a lot of times people don't use Throat Punch on Incineroar, but the only reason I've got it is for Sylveons, and there it pays off. We're going to see Melmetal and Reshiram come out, and that's my opponent's last remaining Pokemon. And like I said, Marshadow has a Choice Band, so if I can't knock out these Mons, we're going to have to lock ourselves into something. I think Marshadow should be okay against these two, but here's to hoping. I'm going to go for some Max Knuckles, and I think Reshiram is probably the bigger threat. So if we can get rid of Reshiram here, we should be fine against Melmetal later on. We're going to give our Surfish there an attack boost, and we're going to get hit with a nasty Fusion Flare. But luckily, we're actually going to survive that, and Reshiram will go down the next turn. So now I'm kind of nervous. What is Melmetal going to do? It's going to go for a double Iron Bash. And with that, Surfetch is our last Mon. But luckily, we got ourselves a nice attack boost there. And we saw there that Surfetch is actually faster than Melmetal. So we're going to have to hope for one close combat to do the job, because we're not living anything. And it does the job. We're finally able to get rid of this Melmetal. Boom. And that is one of the closest games I've ever had. So if you like this, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe. I will see you in the next Pokemon video.